gorgeous ladies. Divya, Sujata, Goddess Within, E-Cafe, Anshu Sahani, Khan0011, Saima, Mindful Mindset Shift.in, Rupali. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Performance coach Ruchika, love your energy. Hi Goddess, Shalini, Priyanka, Patil, Sau-bana, Sau-bana, my darling. Shilpa Dadit, Sau-bana to you too. Ritika Agarwal, good to see you again. We spent 5 hours together in the morning and now again here you are back. So nice. If you spend the whole morning with me this morning in Branding Mastery, I'd love for you to put that in the chat box. How was your experience? Tell me, did you enjoy the session or anything you want to add? I'd love to read some feedback. Looking stunning. Yeah, actually this is such a beautiful filter. What's it called? I'll see what's it called. Some KS or something it was called. I myself was enjoying looking at myself. It was so cool. I've actually had a really busy morning. First I was doing session till about 1:50. Then I had my kitty today. Something that I was planning to leave, but then last minute I got tempted and I went off and we had such a good time. I've just come 10 minutes before that. This is a group of mine that I've known for so many years, very comfortable. So even though I went late, they were really sweet. And then they all stayed back and I had soup, so it was good fun. Ma'am, I feel very confident when I see you. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you. Ooh, Kinu Didi in the house. Love you, Kinu Didi. And love to Vedya too. Tejal Trivedi, hi Puja, Sau-bana, see you get my high energy, MPDY, my mentor. Thank you so much. Your voice makes us motivated. So much motivation. Thank you. All right, let's start with some questions. So nice to see so many of you here. Let me go right to the bottom and see what's the latest question happening, right? Vaishali, how nice to see you're so honest that you're using filters. Oh, absolutely, Vaishali. I mean, I don't know if I actually know anybody who's got skin like this. So anybody who doesn't know that would be funny if I said I'm not using filters. Yeah, I use all of this stuff but I'm very open about it, and I think that's how we all need to be. There's no harm in enhancing your looks, but there's no need to fake it. You know? Shivi, hello ma'am, thanks for existing. Thank you, Shivi. And how to train under you as a life coach. If you want the fastest answer, call up Gunjan. The phone number will be under this video when I finish. And just find out from her what's the next few things that we are doing in our tribe and come for that. That's the fastest way you can become a coach under me. Yes? It's a delight to see you. Oh, so sweet. I love it. I'm getting more compliments today than questions. That's lovely. Let's have some fun. Do you want anything you want to know about me? Or, you know, I'd love to answer some personal questions today. If you have anything you want to ask, or I'm cool. Like, I'm in a fun mode. I'm not in such a serious mode because I've been teaching the whole day. I need a break from teaching. So if you have any fun questions, please feel free to put it. I'd love to take the fun questions today. Of course, if there are some serious questions that show up, I'd love to. Law of Attraction session, which happened last week, was wonderful. It was literally bulb-on moments for me. Oh, thank you, Gauri. I'm so glad you came for it. If you came for the Law of Attraction session, please tell me in the chat box, what was your biggest learning from those 3 days? Sanya Arora, I feel so connected with you. I'm literally waiting for the Wednesdays to meet you. Love you, my Sanya. Please share your top 10 self-growth books to read. Okay, let's do it right away. Divya, if you're listening to me, Team Life by Design, I'm going to request you to share my favorite top 10 books in the stories before my session ends today. So let's give this as a challenge to my team if they are able to share my top 10 books in the stories before we finish today's session. Chanda Singh, hi ma'am, I love you so much. You're so inspiring as a person. Thank you, my darling Chanda, and thank you each one of you here who's giving so much love. That means so much to me, you know. The session in the morning was super informative. I now go to bed with my recordings and start the day the same way too. Oh, how sweet and how lovely. Thank you. Devika Wins is asking, what is your motivation? Devika, just this morning I was speaking about it. In the beginning, my motivation was very personal to me. So what do I mean when I say that? Oh, why is Puneet calling right now? 1 second. Hello? No, it's my Insta live is going on. I thought maybe nobody can hear my voice or something happened. Nothing happened. Okay, no problem. Bye, love you. Sorry, normally my husband knows my Insta live is happening, so he's calling. I thought maybe there was something that's happened to my Insta live, because that's normally when he calls, but he simply had called. So my motivation was very personal to me, which means it was more about personal reasons. I wanted to have my own identity. I wanted my own financial freedom. I wanted to go on girls' trips. I wanted to have my own money, especially in a joint family. When you have your own money, it's very liberating, because otherwise it's always permissions that you need to get. So all of that was my motivation right in the beginning. And then over the years, it all started to feel very like, I started to earn the exact amount I wanted to. And for about 5-6 years in the middle, I stagnated at that amount because I was more than happy and content. And then when COVID hit, I realized that the world is really suffering and I have answers. So I think my entire motivation moved from personal to wanting to help the world. And today it's all about, like I say, re-engineering women in society. I wanna spend the next decade dedicated to the fact that we all rise. I feel like it's the decade of the feminine, decade of the woman. In different ways, we are all rising. We are becoming more and more powerful. I do feel that our daughters and daughter-in-laws will have a very different journey than what we've had. So as the world changes, who are these girls going to look up to? So my job is to create role models in society, and I can very proudly say that every member of my tribe is a role model in some way or the other in this world, for their thinking and their ideology is all about raising the feminine without putting the man down. And that's pretty much where I come from. I don't believe in feminist movement, the one which is very, very extreme, where it's all about revenge, or it's all about showing other people that we have the power, or all about, taking back what is actually ours. Mine comes more from the concept my friend Rajiv speaks about, mutualism, which is pretty much the fact that, all of these gender roles that we've created and all of what the patriarchy, at one point, it served the woman to be protected and provided for. But today, honestly speaking, women are very capable of protecting and providing for themselves. It's fun to have a man in your life. If you have one who's actually caring, loving, then that's lovely. But women no longer need men. It's more a want, not a need. So the man better be, the kind of man a woman chooses to be with. I have 2 boys, 22 and 18, and I tell them this all the time, that no longer a woman will come and be subservient to you and you can do anything you like because, you are the man. It no longer works like this. Today, if you want to be in a woman's life, you better know how to respect her, how to treat her. She's a princess, and I had read this very nice quotation that if you want to be treated like a queen, learn to treat him like a king. And I think it's a very mutual relationship today that we need to create, where there is respect on both ends, that no one should think of themselves as superior. Each one is different. Each one brings their own qualities. And I think learning to respect that is the journey ahead. So today my motivation is all about re-engineering how the man and woman need to come together the right way. Mansi, how to differentiate between intuition and self-doubt? Mansi, for me, one of the ways I check into my intuition versus self-doubt is a stopper, while intuition is a lead. It leads you towards your purpose, your passion. So intuition opens up doors, self-doubt closes doors. So one of the ways that you can check in that, is this thing stopping me from living my best life, or is it taking me towards my best life? So that's a lovely question to ask yourself. Another thing is also depends on how aligned you are with the universe. So the more you are in the energy of positivity, gratitude, love, care. The more you are an optimistic person, the more intuition will speak to you. The more you are in negative energy, the more self-doubt will speak to you. So you want to start to use your intuition. The more you use your intuition, the stronger it will keep getting. The more you listen to the self-doubt, the more self-doubt will start to get stronger. So you want to be very careful around that. Coach by research. How to overcome this feeling of how much ever tasks we do, they won't finish. I love that question. So there are a few things you can do, my sweetheart. One is, on a daily basis, have a rule of 3 or a rule of 5, which means if I get these 3 things accomplished, if you know about the 80-20 principle, then you know that 20% of what we do actually is 80%, gives us 80% results, and 80% of what we do gives us only 20% result. So everything in life, if we learn to prioritize, we will know how to complete lists. It's not about completing lists. It's actually about seeing which were the $10 items, which were the $100 items, which were the $1,000 items. And if you're spending a lot of time ticking all the $10 items, rather if you just did $1,000 item, that's far superior. So instead of looking at your list and looking at it as a never-ending list, start to figure out which is the most important thing, which are the top 3 most important things. If they happen, the needle of my life will move. So needle movers is what you want to look at. You want to start to learn to prioritize that. As far as lists are concerned, how does it matter how long they are? We have a complete life. Keep going. Slow and steady wins the race. Brick by brick by brick by brick. What's the hurry to finish the lists? I love to do things well, and I love to have fun while I'm doing them. I'm in no hurry to finish anything. I'm only in the thing that, you know what, if I keep doing it consistently, I know it will become second nature. So start to look at your list more in terms of priority, more in terms of what's important, rather than in terms of trying to finish. Because you know what, for some of us here, if you are anything like me, if you finish 10 things, you'll add another 10 things. And you know what? It doesn't matter. It's okay. Those are just to give you direction. Learn to see if you can start to delegate on them. So there are things you can delegate. There are things you need to do. And if you can separate that list eventually, even better. Because we are doing too much while we are not doing enough in the productive. We are doing too much to be busy, not enough to be productive. So start to look at life in these manners so that you can, and why should anyone's list finish? Because you know what? The truth is, goal accomplished is goal upgraded. Goals accomplished is goals upgraded. What does that mean? Every time you accomplish a goal, let's say you lose 5 kilos, then you say 2 more kilos will be nice. Or at least I'd like a 26-inch waist. Or, now I would like to, flatten out my stomach a little bit. Or now I'd like to build muscle. So the truth is, it never ends, because growth is a part of our value system. If you are a human being, please know that we were born to keep on evolving. Evolving is a part of our natural process. So whenever we accomplish something, we move to the next thing. So just keep on very consciously see if you can start to pat yourself every evening at the back and make something what I call the victory log, where you actually note down every day how much you got done. Our brain is so good at focusing on the 2 things that didn't get done, that the 20 things that did get done, we tend to take for granted. Okay, वो तो होना ही था, वो तो मैं कर ही रही थी, or anything like that. Instead, start to keep a victory log and start to be very proud of what you're accomplishing, because you know what? We are all rock stars who are just given this whole, our targets and conversions, and there's no end to how much you can do. So start to create your own artificial end, because you know what? That will help you acknowledge how awesome you are. All right, Rasuni Neha, how to not feel guilty of every little thing. Neha, you know what? I speak a lot about guilt, and one of the things I say about guilt is just pure feedback. That something is important to you, okay? So if you can start to look at, why am I feeling guilty? Is it someone else's should? If it is someone else's should, see if you can give it up, because you know what, like I remember both my mother and mother-in-law were seriously available for me and my husband. So the kind of mothers they were, when I started working, I used to feel so guilty that, oh God, the way my mother and mother-in-law were there for their children, I'm not going to be there for my children. But then you know what, I also realized this was their should, not mine. Mine was more that when I'm with them, I will spend quality time with them. I will take out time for them, but I don't need to be available to them 24/7. So I had to create my own version so that I don't feel guilty, correct? So that's one thing you can do. See if it's someone else's should that you're feeling guilty about. If it is yours, let's say one of the things I want to do is every single day connect with my babies on a daily basis, and both live in London now, so I feel guilty if I don't connect with them. So then I came up with my own strategies. Right? So one of the things you can do is take your feedback, guilt feedback, and use it. And I call that good guilt. It's like God reminding you that this is also a priority. And I never try to look for balance in my life. I look for harmony. What's the difference? It's like playing an orchestra. And when you are playing an orchestra, all instruments don't play together at the same time. Sometimes the harp plays, sometimes the piano, sometimes the guitar, and sometimes the flute, and it all makes beautiful melody. You want your life to look like a beautiful melody, not on a daily basis you need to do everything. What if over the week you start to go, okay, Saturdays are for boys, for my boys or for your children. Mondays is for health. Thursdays is for work. This is for this part. This is for this part. And you start to schedule such a beautiful rhythm to your routine that it starts to, like for me, if my father gets neglected, sometimes I tell him every Tuesday this month, let's get on a call, Papa, because I'm really missing you. So that brings him back into my life. So instead of feeling guilty, the only thing you don't want to do is turn guilt into regret. So a lot of us, what we do is when we start to feel guilty, we start to go into regret mode. Oh my God, I've not spoken to my father, I've not spoken to my father, I've not spoken to my father. No, if you've not spoken to your father and you're keen to speak to your father, on the 1st of every month, look at towards who all you're guilty or what all you're guilty about, and bring it back into your life. It's your life to design, correct? So from today onwards, whenever you feel guilty, you should say, okay, this is feedback. Is it mine? Not mine. Then I dump it. It is mine. Oh God, this is important to me. I bring it into my life. Yes? Most of us women are guilty for no reason. 80% of the time when I'm speaking to women, they are guilty at work because they want to be with their children, and when they are with their children, they are at work, they are not present anywhere. If that is your case scenario, I'm going to recommend to you, please take this guilt and put it in the dustbin, because apart from using it for manipulating yourself and others manipulating you, it's of no use at all. So everybody in my tribe, zero guilt. If you feel guilty, turn it into good guilt, which means compensate. Yes? God bless you. All right, let's look some of more questions. Yashupur Gowda is asking, what are the top 3 gifts that you would love to give your husband? So, honestly, while this is a very interesting question, one of the things that Puneet and I tend to not do is give gifts, because neither he cares for gifts nor I. We both don't have, like, if you know about love languages, words of appreciation, acts of service, quality time, physical intimacy or physical touch, and gifts. These are normally, one of these is our most prominent love language, okay? For Puneet and me, it comes last in the ladder. So I think in the last 10 years, I've not given him anything, and in the last 10 years, he's not given me anything, or I'm trying to think if there is anything also. For me, I'll land up giving him something in golf. So a golf club, or a golf stick, or some balls, something like that, I'm going to guess. One of the things we gift each other a lot is holidays, because that's my weakness also and his weakness also. So I'll say, okay, I'll pay for the tickets, you pay for the hotel, I'll pay for this, you pay for that. So we have a lot of fun around our travel. I don't know if we can call it gifts, because it's not a surprise or it's not something he doesn't know about, but we tend to gift each other knowingly a lot of travel. Apart from that, both of us are not really materialistic in terms of, neither am I very fond of watches or bags or shoes or jewelry, nor is he he's not changed his watch in 10 years. So I think we are not really the most exciting people to discuss gifts with. My love language is words of appreciation. So one of the things I tell Puneet is, please give me a compliment every day. It means so much to me, which he does very sweetly now. And for him, it's acts of service, which means how the house is organized should be perfect. Like he likes the batteries to be in his remote, the towel should be in the powder should be there. So he's very particular about the way the house is run. And now that I know that's important to him, that's what I think I'm very particular about, how the house is run. And he's very particular about making sure that my heart is filled with the nice words that I want from him. Those are more the gifts we like. All right, Kaushalya is asking, ma'am, how to attract the right partner into my life using law of attraction? What are all the steps we need to follow? Beautiful. So Kaushalya, this is one of the things I've done with a lot of my tribe members. I always make them write a list of things that they'd love to have and things that are non-negotiable. So non-negotiable is something that you're absolutely not willing to adjust to. For example, he has to be dash. So, for some people, he has to be educated. For some people, he has to be rich. For some people, he has to be sense of humor. For some people, it will be, for different people, depending on what their value system is, you can make a list of 5, 7, 10, 15 things of what are those things that are absolutely essential. And then there are things that would be nice to have. Like, if he's also religious, or if he's also, like the other day I was asking my friend and she's a vegetarian. She's like, for me, my spouse has to be vegetarian, coming from a Jain family. So it all depends on your value system and how you marry it to the person. So one of the things I'm going to recommend to you is make a list like that, okay? Another thing I'd love for you to do is, and then get detached by writing one extra line underneath this page saying this or something better. Okay, and then start to work on your own vibration. Remember, we only attract 2 steps below or 2 steps above us. So if you really want a lovely man, become more positive, become more caring, become more loving, just become a nice human being. Because remember, while we are always about how the other person should be, are you willing to give back equally or more? That's a very important question, and I want you to start to give back in the world in general. Increase your karmic account. Become such a lovely human being that people get attracted to your personality. Having said all of this, also take very specific steps to know where you're going to find him. I remember this session where Jack Canfield was taking the session and this lady stood up and she said, I just don't find the right guys. I'm always attracting the wrong guy. And he said, where are you looking for these guys? She said, I go to the bar every night and I sit with my glass of wine. He said, if you're going to look for guys in the bar, they will be wrong. Look at where you're looking. What are things that interest you? She was like, I love museums, I love art, and he said, why don't you join some clubs where these are the things where you can find common traits of the kind that you love. And she was like, and I remember within 6 months or so, she wrote back to Jack how she had found someone in the art space, exactly the kind of guy she wanted. So another thing I'd love for you to do is take very specific steps towards looking for the person. Like if I had to marry today, I would want someone from the self-help world. That would be like, that will make us talk so spontaneously and be, so I would love for you to see what would you want. Fortunately for me, Puneet's worked very hard on himself and come for so many sessions with me that now even he's as much self-help as I am. But you want to start to look for those commonalities, because when the love starts to become stable, when the crush zone or the honeymoon period is over, then what keeps us together is the common interest. So you want to look for those kind of things in your partner. And trust me when I say this, just get detached to the idea while doing everything towards it. So it's a combination, right? Like I work very hard at my work, but I try to be as detached as I can to the results, because that really is the magic of law of attraction. The more you are detached to the results, the more you work for work. Remember I think in Mahabharata or in the Gita, there's this part where they talk about, karma karo, fal ki chinta mat karo type of sentence. I think that really is something that came from the law of attraction. So God bless. Alright, Divmin is saying, despite doing awakening, unable to feel positive, what is that one thing that can help me shift to positivity? My dear sweetheart, let me tell you, forget awakening. No course can change you unless you decide to change. The question that you've asked me tells me that you are looking at positivity to come from somewhere outside. Positivity doesn't live outside of our life. It lives within us. You have to generate it. You have to learn to every morning awaken it. Only then you will have positivity. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how many courses you go for or how many. The ungrateful people of the world will always find something to be ungrateful for. And the grateful people of the world will always find gratitude. Always find something to be grateful for. And remember, gratitude directly links to positivity. If you're not doing your gratitude every single day, it doesn't matter how many courses you do, you will remain negative only. So sweetheart, today onwards, start doing your gratitude every single day. I can assure you that itself is a life changer. If you do it the right way. In that also, if you are able to find something to be negative about, then God bless you. You need my one-to-one coaching. Call up my office and get onto a one-to-one coaching call with me, okay? Manjula, women can do everything if she makes up her mind. With this thought, if a husband is toxic, should she continue with him with the hope of handling him or leave him and move on? What is the smart decision? Manjula, there is no one answer to this question. It all depends on how much the woman loves the man. If the woman loves the man enough to tolerate the rubbish that he's giving her, then stay. If you don't love him enough and you feel like I can get better, I deserve better, move on. So there's no right answer. It is the right answer for you or for whoever you are asking on behalf of. So it's all about the right answer. And the right answer comes from within, never from outside. I know women who are willing to stay with their man because they love him so much, even though he's cheating with 3 other women. I know women who once the man had one little fling and she left him because for her that was non-negotiable. There's no right answer, okay? Please know the right answer all belongs to who you are as a person. You evaluate your strengths, your weaknesses, what is convenient for you. Is this the right thing for you? Are you looking for someone better or are you content? Man is not even on your picture. You are only interested in building yourself for who you are. Whether it's this or someone else, you'll have to compromise to something or the other. Better a known enemy than an unknown enemy. It all depends on what your mindset and your thought process is, okay? Pavitra, how to be consistent in diet? Pavitra, I have just come back from Greece and Delhi. I'm not going to answer that question today because I feel I'm not deserving of that question for the simple reason that I have been eating a lot of good food lately. So honestly speaking, I feel like I'm not entitled to answer that question right now for the amount of fun we've had. Having said that, general consistency is built. One thing I think very important to understand about diets is that you are running a marathon, not a sprint. So every time you fail in a diet, don't restart. Just know that cheat days are very much a part of the plan of diet. So look at how you can create. If you keep your diet too strict, you're bound to fail faster. So it's better to keep a 70% ongoing diet than a 100% full-on diet. You know, okay, to start the momentum, if you want to do a 100% diet for 30, 60, 90 days, please do. But after that, I feel like we start to yo-yo because we either follow the diet or we don't follow the diet. To me, I feel like especially in diet, it's very important to get a in-between level, which means 5 days a week I will follow the diet, 2 days a week I will not. Not like I'm not on a diet or I am on a diet. Instead, it has to be a lifestyle change, not a diet. I hope I'm able to make some sense of what I'm saying. Neha S. Puja, I am kind, honest, loving to people, but in some years I feel I'm unable to maintain my relationship. I'm so scared of being close to people. Please help. Neha, a lot of times who we are surrounded by makes us decide whether we need to be close to them or not. If you are not feeling safe in your relationships, it's going to be very hard for you to be close. So surround yourself with better people if you really want to get close to people. If you've had some trust issues in the past and there is a trauma still inside of you where it's not the people but it's you need to work with that, especially if you can get a healer or someone, a coach who can help you with dealing with whatever your trust issues are, then look at that. If it is just generally you've just become very wary and you're becoming very scared to get hurt, look at what's happening. The most important thing is to understand what's what's happening, why would you be choosing to close or shut yourself down to people? Because remember, when we are not vulnerable, when we are not authentic, when we are shut down, then if we don't experience the pain, we also don't experience the joy of the relationship, correct? So I think it's very important to keep ourselves in a place where we have the confidence that if someone hurts us, we will be able to manage it. Instead of losing that confidence, I would love for you to gain that confidence back. If you want to come for the awakening session, please come. In that, we cover a lot of all of this. So I'd love to help you, or get yourself a coach from anybody here who'd love a one-to-one coaching. I'd love for you to send a message to Gunjan saying LBDA. Then somebody from my office, a coach, will call you and give you all of the details, and you can get onto a 9 or a 6 session package, which will be extremely helpful for you, okay? So I recommend this to all of you here. Call this number or message Gunjan LBDA, which is Life by Design Academy, where my Life by Design coaches work from, okay? So it will be lovely to have some of you, especially if you're dealing with things like this that may just take me 3-4 sessions to process it out, or my coaches, right? Artist Puja QnA, in a family member's birthday party, only my name was not in the list of family WhatsApp group. After asking, they said they forgot. However, I am convinced and feeling left out. What to do? So Puja, the lower our self-esteem, the more unforgiving we are of mistakes. Okay? Now, either which ways you are imagining, correct? You can never be sure. It could be a mistake, it could not be a mistake. But what suits you more? To think it's a mistake and hold the grudge, or to let it go by thinking, no, actually they must have forgotten. The empowering thought is the one which is positive, okay? So see if you can choose the empowering thought. If someone forgot to invite me and they said they apologized and added me later on, I'll happily be okay with that, okay? If they don't have the courage to be honest, I don't have the mindset to be negative. If they don't have the courage to be honest, I don't have the mindset to be negative. If they are okay with telling me that, you know what, they forgot, I'm okay with accepting that as answer, because it suits me more, it makes me less negative as a human being. So I would love for you that whenever you are given a choice to choose between negative and positive, choose the positive. If ever proven that it was not a mistake, they purposely had done it, at that point you go into action. No. Why now? Now that you know, you can remain a little wary at the max, and then if ever proven, maybe this thing will just pass. Maybe it will show up a little in the future in some other form. So my suggestion is, for now, see if you can give benefit of doubt. I love giving people benefit of doubt because it's a long life and we are human beings and we all make mistakes. And you know what? There's no point putting anybody down or shaming someone or judging someone. It's not going to help you. So see if you can grow your heart and say, you know what, if they are saying it's a mistake, maybe it's a mistake, I'll go. And then check. In a couple of months, something else will get revealed to you. If nothing comes, then you know it was just a mistake. But if something else shows up, then you can always come and look back and say, I knew. And that's also okay. Okay? Ma'am, I live with my husband separately due to his job, but my mother-in-law calls daily and he tells everything about us and he wants me to talk to her daily, which I just can't, ma'am. What should I do? My dear sparkling souls, I always say this, that you know what? There are some things we don't do for our mother-in-law, we do for our husband. In return, what is he willing to give you? I think marriage is more about doing things for one another that you don't like to do, so that each one gets trained to the needs of the other person. My husband doesn't like to eat out, but every Wednesday, for my sake, he comes and eats out. Okay? Now, for his sake, there are many things I do. And both of us live that life where we do a lot for one another. In our relationship, the answer is always yes, unless it has to be a no. So if he asks me for something, the answer is yes. If I ask him for something, the answer is yes. You know why? Because we want to build the culture of giving respect to the other one's needs. If you need something or if I need something, let's help one another out. No, to we are saying to the whole world any which ways. So why keep saying no to that one person who matters most to us? Now, while I understand that you don't want to speak to your mother-in-law every single day, I'd love for you to find out what is and how can he compensate if you do decide to do that, okay? Let's say you say, okay, fine, I'm going to try it for 1 week and let's see where this goes. And if I do that, can you please take me out on a full day picnic on Sunday or whatever it is you want in return? I think learning to grow ourselves to match the needs of our spouse, when both do it, it's beautiful. When any one will do it, they will become bitter. So any one being expected to do all of the sacrifices while the other just sits in entitlement, not allowed. That's not okay. So if he says, no, I won't give you anything in return, but you have to call up my mother-in-law, I am sorry. That's not how this relationship will work. You want me to do this, I'm willing to do it, but in return, once in 3 months, 2 nights out to a nice resort. Deal? Deal. Okay, fine, then I'll do it. So in life, don't get stuck. Always look for solutions. My husband is a golfer. Monday to Saturday when he plays golf, I have no problem with it. But on Sundays when he goes for golf, I get really upset because I feel like at least one day of the week you should be with me, right? Now, in the beginning, what started to happen was that every time he would come and ask me that can I go for golf on a Sunday, I used to feel unloved. I used to say, like I've told you once, what do you want me to say? You know, every time you make me feel like the witch, because if I say yes, then I'm upset. If I say no, then you're upset. One of us is upset. The Sunday is anyway ruined. Then what's the point? So we made a deal that when he will go for golf, I will go shopping. And he will afford that day's shopping for me. So whatever I go buy, sometimes I'll go buy a cream from Forest Essentials, sometimes I'll go buy glasses for the house. I will go shopping. Are you okay with affording? And we kept one budget amount which worked for both of us. And he said, okay, fine. And now I enjoy myself on Sunday. So what if he goes for 4 hours? I go and enjoy, do my things. It's quite a nice large amount. So I go swipe and have so much fun. I don't feel bitter because I feel like, okay, at least in return, he's compensating. So my suggestion to every single person here who's working with a spouse, don't say no. Don't stop the man from living his best life or whatever life he chooses to. Don't stop the women. Today, if Puneet said, no, you can't go abroad, you can't study, you can't do this work, I'll be so upset. And what will you do with an unhappy partner? What do you think? An unhappy partner can never give us happiness? Hoga hi nahi. Hai na ki nahi? So, you want to keep your partner happy and you want to keep your partner happy and you want the return also the same, right? And get the same in return. All right. Tejal Trivedi, how do you maintain your energy and be positive in tough situations? Tejal, I have trained myself to do so. So over the years, I have played so many games with myself where I have said, you know what, I'm not going to lose my calm. I'm not going to lose my calm. I remember when me and Puneet used to go for holidays right in the beginning of my marriage. Every trip we would land up having a fight. We would be spending so much money and we would land up fighting, and I used to say, "Hi, itna paisa barbad ho raha hai." Because we couldn't control those things. And then I remember setting myself up कि अभी गोवा जा रहे हैं 3 days के लिए, किसी भी तरह मैं लड़ाई नहीं होने दूंगी. And then I started to, like, I remember the second time I had said this, तब भी लड़ाई हो गई, even after setting the intention. But by the third time, I saw myself improving and building that muscle where I was able to keep quiet when I really had so much to say. You know what I mean? So over the years, things have changed. And now, of course, I have the capacity to not create a chaos or not create a tantrum, not throw a tantrum if I don't choose to. So learning to do that, I remember I would just keep quiet or walk away or lock my door and pat myself on the back. Yay, Puja, at least you did not react. Now choose to respond. So 1 hour later, I'll call him and say, you know what, Puneet? And that is so much better. And this is not just with your husband. You can do this with anybody, with my own children. I always say, I don't want to show them my anger. I want to just explain them my anger. That means I don't want to express my anger. They shouldn't go, oh my God, mom is shouting. I should say, you know what, mom is mildly disappointed that. That's so much better a way to parent, isn't it? So I started to look for solutions and prepare myself for the chaos or the tough situations. And then over the years with practice, it's come a really long way. But I have to say it was not easy. It took a lot of practice. The first few times I failed badly, thinking that it may not even work. But slowly, I didn't realize. But you know, when we went on a trip and I didn't fight till the last day, then I means 2 full days we were able to cross. Then 1 week, then 1 month, then 6 months. Every 6 months I purposely fight because I feel like a relationship starts to stagnate if you're not. Thoda sa to wo friction is good na, patch up is so lovely. So like that, I'd love for you to start to look at how you can work with when you have a tough situation, can you pre-prepare yourself? What is it you're going to do? Let's say you already know that your tough situations is with your sister-in-law, with your mother-in-law, with your parents, with your brother, whoever it is in your environment that triggers you the wrong way. Can you kind of visualize in advance that when they will start speaking, what you'll do? One of the things I do is I just start smiling. They wonder that Pooja's lost it, she's cracked. But you know what? Smile is one of the most beautiful, protective gear that you can wear when someone is triggering things in you. Because just keep smiling. I just keep smiling because I know I don't want this to go in. I don't want them to be able to attack me. I don't want the power in their hands. I don't want the remote control in their hands. I'm not willing to give up my mood for them. I don't want to be a slave in their hands. I want to be the master of my own emotions. And all of these things I've said to myself long enough that today tough situations don't even feel tough because I have full control. When I say full control, I mean 50, 60, 70%. Nobody has full control, but okay, I may be slightly better than most people. Bas utna hi hai, you know. But it's a learning it's work in progress. I think till the end of my life, I'll be working on my emotions, on my energy, on all of that we are discussing. Yeah. How to get rid of the fear of falling in love with someone new? I feel confused at times what to do. Tanya, firstly, I don't know why are you having fear of falling in love with someone new unless you have someone old in your life. So if you have someone old in your life and you're falling in love with someone new, please know that God created us in that manner. So our biology and our chemistry was created for it to be attracted to other people. And I feel like as a society, we've made this a very taboo topic where we are not allowed to be attracted to anyone but our spouse or but the person we are with. I think that's so unfair. You know, you are not just attracted to one person in the world, you will be attracted to many people in the world, correct? And that's totally okay. Till the time you as a woman know that you have full choice and full control about what you do with that love. If you start to message, if you start to get weak, if you start to indulge, if you start to respond, then there's a problem. But to fall in love is totally okay. You create your own fantasy world, come back, imagine yourself having fun, do whatever you want in your fantasy world and close the chapter. The only thing I don't want to do is move it to phone. So if the person messages you or you get tempted to message them without phone today, there's no affairs. You cannot have an affair without phone. So what you want to do is, like one of the things Puneet and I do is both of us know each other's password, both of us read each other's messages, both of us, doesn't mean we don't trust each other. It just means that we are open about it so that each one knows that you can trust the other person, because one of the easiest ways to trust people is when their phone is not in hiding. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? So look and create. There's a lovely TEDx talk on monogamy and you know what's happening these days, and every couple has the option to choose what is the point that they can go to with the other person in terms of not feeling cheated by the other person. So a couple can decide. There are open marriages. There are these days concepts like you can flirt, you can only look but don't touch. You can do this, you can do that. You have to come up with your own setup of how you want to think. Always the person most respected on this will be the one who's more conservative. So the more conservative person gets to decide the rules of the relationship so that each one feels safe. The most important thing is to not break your trust and to still feel safe. Now, being attracted to someone, if your spouse can handle it, like if I tell my spouse, like we were in Greece and I say, what a good looking guy, he doesn't care. He's very cool and easy and chill. He doesn't think that's... But for some man, it could be like, oh my God, she's calling him good looking, which means I'm not attractive enough. So if he has low self-esteem, I have to honor that also. Whatever you get is what you have to honor, correct? So falling in love with someone, don't get scared. What you need to be is grow yourself to that place where you should know that whether you fall in love or not, your actions will remain right only. So work on keeping your actions right. Don't work on what is natural. It's natural to be attracted to other people. It's natural to... I remember one of my teachers saying, Pooja, you're a peacock. And to all women, I say this, that you are all peacocks. It is natural for men to get attracted to you. Instead of shaming them, train them. If somebody gives me a compliment, I'll always say things like, oh, thank you for having such great taste, but for this janam to I am committed, you know, or anything. I'll just make a joke of it and laugh it off. Why? I don't want to give any seriousness to that. I know that I'm an attractive woman. I want all of us women to know that we are attractive women. We are like peacocks, and the world is designed. I remember my teacher asking me this question. It was such a lovely question they asked me. He said, Pooja, would you rather no one ever be attracted to you, or would you rather have a lot of people attracted to you but you learn to handle it? And that's the moment I was like, no, I don't want that no one should ever feel attracted to me. That will be such a sad day. So I want you to look at the world in this manner, that not that no one should ever be attracted to you or that you should never be attracted to anybody. It's totally okay for that to happen. I'm guessing, Tanya, that somewhere in this I've answered your question because it was not clear enough. So I hope I didn't go too far from what you had asked. I'm just saying, remove all your fear of being attracted to someone or falling in love with someone, and know that you have the capacity to manage or handle that when it happens, and grow yourself to that place where you learn to handle. Don't shame them, train them, and if you are the one falling in love, just remove yourself from the situation, stay away. You know there is sparks and danger there. Why you want to jump into the fire? Acknowledge it. Be okay with it. Don't guilt trip yourself for being a bad woman or a loose woman or a, all of these words that we use so casually on women. Don't do all of that to yourself. Just be very kind and say, biologically, it's a problem, but I have the intelligence to process it and handle it. So see if you can grow yourself to that level. Yeah. What does Sau-bana mean? Sau-bana means I see you. It's an African proverb where, like how we do namaste, it's a greeting where we are telling the other person, beyond your physicality, I see your soul, I hear you, I feel your energy. It's a very wholesome way of acknowledging someone's soul. So Sau-bana is just basically saying, I'm not just looking at you, I see you. I see the beauty in you is actually the complete sentence. I see the beauty in you. And when we start to see the beauty in every person that we meet, if we start to see that godlike energy in every person we meet, we will stop judging them, we will stop criticizing them, we will stop. So much of our mindset and heart set will improve when we see people genuinely rather than just only look and judge. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to go right to the bottom. Ma'am, can you please suggest a face serum? Jay Lakshmi, there are a lot of dermatologists, good dermatologists, and lot of people who these days are making lot of, like, there's these gorgeous influencers. In Chennai, we have Shaina Reddy, who suggests so many serums to so many people. I love the work that she's putting on Instagram. So I think her handle is Shine Reddy. Please follow her and she will suggest lots of these kind of things on her Instagram. I'm using something called Genifique by Lancome on my skin. It's something that's really suited me over the years. I think I've been using it for 10 years now, but it's quite pricey. So I don't know if I want to recommend it to everyone because every bottle costs quite a lot of money. These Lancome skincare things are quite expensive. Honestly, these days, most skincare is quite expensive. Sunali Mitra, aging is scary. How to deal with it? It's taking the charm. Sunali, I think it's all about perspective. If you start to believe aging is scary, then aging is scary. But can I tell you, I think in this world, one of the biggest mistakes we have made is we've given looks too much importance. Unfortunately, that's one of the things we've done. Color of skin, looks, if you see all of racism, all of that has come from where? From someone's outer layer. Correct? Underneath, we are all the same. Marianne Williamson says, the most unique or the highest thought is not that we are all unique. The highest thought is that we are all the same. Under the skin, our bloods and bones and all of the stuff is all the same. If I removed the skin of people, everyone will look the same, correct or no? So then why so much importance to this one thing? I think we really need to grow ourselves to look beyond the skin, which is where Sau-bana comes. So if you're getting scared about aging, see if you can create a new perspective. What if you had to start to say, my gray hair denotes wisdom. My wrinkles show my experience. My dark circles show that I've been awake the whole night catering to my young baby who's so important to me. My stretch marks are all about producing those children that I love so much, for who I will give much more than just a stomach ke upar scars, correct? So like that, when we start to create a new perspective, I think it's so much more helpful. The people who are most scared of aging are the ones whose beauty has been very important to them. I think learning to take beauty lightly is a huge part of evolving. So don't take your beauty so seriously. I feel like we have to develop a way where we start to go elegant about aging. I was in Greece last month, and one of the things I'm noticing is the amount of plastic surgery on people's faces was just amazing to see. Like every second woman had those big lips. You know what I'm talking about? And Botoxed face. And I don't know, is that even beautiful? I'm no one to judge, but I'm asking you that as I continue, I kept seeing beautiful women, but then their Botox and all that they had done to their face started to show up. And for me, I just felt like, where are we going as a society? I don't know. Is that how we want to all age? Is that where we are going to land up going? That all of us going to have those kind of plastic faces? It's a personal choice. It's a personal choice. And the other day I was watching Sushmita Sen and Twinkle Khanna's interview, and oh my God, I'm such a big fan of both these ladies. I think they are really women of substance. But I could see all the work that Sushmita Sen had done on her face. And what I love about her is the way she owns it. So it's wonderful to see her, how much she owns what she's done. So full kudos to her for that. But having said that, I wish, okay, if you are in that industry where you're being judged for every line, I understand. But you and I, if we are not selling or not being paid for our looks, is it really worth it for us to go on that journey? These are just personal questions to reflect on. And whatever your answer is, I have full respect for that. But I think learning and creating a new story in our heads around aging is very important. I think especially for all of us women who are soon going to hit menopause, lots of our body is going to change. We are going to put on a lot of weight. It seems in menopause you do land up putting on a lot of weight. Our personality is going to go through a little bit of dysfunction. I think we better get ready as a society to deal with all of that rather than covering it up with fluff. Under the nail polish, there'll be 5 other nail polishes, and we are just going on layering it. But what about the inside? And you know what? When your inside really gets comfortable and deeply accepts yourself for who you are, your beauty shows through. I feel like to me, the beautiful woman is who owns all of her scars, all of her flaws, because beauty is not in perfectionism. Beauty is in the confidence that a woman carries herself as. To me, this is my definition. I'd love for you to create your own definition and see how you want to age. I think really you need to make a plan in your head that, okay, I'm okay with this, I'm not okay with this. Like for example, I color my hair. If you can see all of the whites, can you see the whites? So I color my hair, and will there come a time where I'll be comfortable keeping them gray? Maybe, I think so. But for now, I camouflage it, okay? So whatever you can camouflage. If that's important to you, in whichever way, please do it. But also know that don't do it to impress other people, do it for yourself. Whatever that means for you. I remember I had a coach, and he was asking me, Puja, what gives you confidence? And I told him my makeup. So he made me go without makeup the whole week. And he said, I don't want your confidence to come from makeup. Yes, please use makeup to enhance yourself, but let it not be, like I used to tell him that if I deliver a baby and I'm in the hospital, I will want my face, at least I'd like to put my foundation. And he used to say, you're a crack girl. And I said, no, but I am like that. I know that. And I want to change that, but I am like that. To me, it mattered how my skin looked in the hospital, especially when 100 people are going to visit me. And then he said, okay, Puja, go 1 week without makeup. I did. And when he came back and he asked me, Puja, how was that experience? I said, great, but everybody thought I was sick because in India, no, if we don't put kajal, no, then we look sick. He said, what rubbish. Now, again, you have to go 1 more week and no one in your school, at that time I was running a preschool, should say that you're sick. I said, how do I do that? He said, through your energy, darling. And then he said, you know what? Every day I want you to show up with such exaggerated energy that no one thinks you're sick. And I remember the whole week I skipped to school and I went, good morning, teachers. And I was so exaggerated that today when people ask me, Puja, where do you get your energy? It was those 2 weeks of managing myself without any makeup, of making myself confident around my own energy. So I'm going to recommend to everyone who's listening to me today that look for how you can enhance yourself through your inner personality rather than outer, because eventually all of us are going to lose our outer. It's only a matter of time. Now, how long you want to keep on extending that, it's up to you, but really is it worth it is a question you need to ask yourself. Yeah? Having said that, I want you to know I have nothing against cosmetic surgery. Okay, if that's what somebody chooses to look like, I may not like it, I don't have to like it, but I have nothing against it. It's a personal choice. Okay, it's 4:57. We are very close to closing. Let me check if I have gotten the list of people who had done their sharing of story last time. All right. So participating people last week, those who managed to take a picture of mine, post it on the story and tag me. I'm going to read out their names. Before that, if you want to quickly take a picture, I know we are close to 4:57. If you want to quickly take a picture so that we can move on to me reading. Which is your favorite pose? Tell me in the chat box. Which is your favorite pose? Yeah? Side angle? This side? Which is better side profile? Tips. You can write your takeaways here. Oh, cup I don't have today. I had just come back from Chinese lunch and I had soup, so I'm not drinking anything. But I do have a nice glass. Dancing pose. Pout. Really? I don't know how to pout. I'm going to have to learn that. With the cup, I only have a glass today. No cup. Thumbs up and cup. Look at me having so much fun. Look at you all having so much fun. I love it. 1,000 kisses. Okay. Here, wait. Let me wear my sunglasses. I just got new sunglasses. Anita saying, so sweet of you to pose. Even after I pose, Anita, there will be people who will put pictures with me going with my full big mouth like as if I'm at the dentist. Everybody here makes you do everything they want. I love that, Kirti. Yes, that's the power of your love, no? Actually, isn't it? All right, everybody. Let me read out. We have books by Tej with Kavita. We have Lakshamur V Shankar _official, ARCGhana.K32, Gauri 1811, S Mukherjee 2007, Aditi Ashish Kumar, Puja Borse, E Cafe, Pinch of Violet, Innovative Tarot with Trupti, Nisa QR, Kaveri Shuvam, Monamika's Bakes, Nature is the Ultimate Power, Shraddha G Parab, Image Design Consultancy, Coach Praji Batle, Sindhu Life Coach, Vivek Vasanta, Digital Amal Priya, Sakina Sheikh, Midas Touch Healing, Success via Handwriting, Allure Crown, Ujjwala Madhvi 15, Anita Gupta Official, Anjali Divedi, Castrology by Kajal Agarwal, Shilpa Dadich, Coaching by Aarti, and Hidden_Thoughts. Super congratulations to all of you here, and the winners of the week is artist Puja QnA, beautiful.bari, and coach by research. So 3 of you will receive my book this week. Congratulations. And for all of you here, remember, September is when we are meeting on Zoom because we finished those 12 sessions that we had spoken about. So if you haven't yet taken a picture of mine, put it on your stories, put your takeaways and tag me. If you haven't done it till now, today is your opportunity. We are going to invite all of you who've at least done it a couple of times, okay? Artist Puja QnA, you are a winner of the book, my darling. All right, superb. Come on, everyone, take your picture, write the takeaways, share it by tagging me. Now, if you land up tagging me, but I'm still not able to share it for some reason, don't expect me to call out your name. Okay? Waiting for September? Absolutely. I can't wait to see your faces. I feel like I know all of you. Mona Mikas and Anita and so many of you here. Allure Crown and so many of you, right? And yet I don't know you by face. Anita, I know you by face, but a lot of you I don't know by face. I'd love to see the face behind the names that I already know. I always say this is my gorgeous, amazing Insta fam. I love you all so much. Thank you for coming. Bye. Ciao. Love you. And if you're interested in any of my courses, call up Gunjan down below. The number is shared. And make sure you join something or the other. Would love to have you move from Insta fam to my personal inner circle tribe. Love you. Bye.